Yeah, it's on. It's on? Okay. Sorry. That's
All right, Jeskai on the left, that would be Audrey, and on the right, Dave Kaplan with Reanimator. This is the post-grief world we live in now. People are still trying to figure out Dimir Reanimator without grief. How long ago did the ban announcement get announced? Not that long ago. We're still in a... Entomb has hit the stack. We're still in a stage here where people are trying to figure it all out. Force pitching Sink into Stupor on Entomb. Kaplan will force back pitching Tamiyo, Inquisitive Student, it looks like. Entomb will resolve.
Yep.
Tracks a Grand Unifier into the graveyard. If you've been around the 90s MTG world for a long time, you're aware that Dave Kaplan was playing Blue-Black Reanimator before it was cool, before all the cool kids were doing it. Reanimate on Atraxa, that will resolve. Atraxa comes in, ETB. Okay, Psychic Frog and Thoughtseize, easy to choose here. Bunch of lands, Entomb, Brainstorm, interesting. Don't think Daze is super interesting here, but it could be. All right, taking Entomb, that makes sense. Underground Sea. And that is it.
Got it.
Yeah, Gifter Leader number 2, Audrey, wanted to watch himself play on stream, and I dig it.
if you want to make it.
I appreciate that. I was caught up in it.
It's confusing. Yeah. You still have one. Go ahead.
It's okay. I totally forgot. I'm not. Yeah. That's alright. I forgot.
Okay, I think Dave forgot to play a land. Audrey was going to allow it, but we skipped it. What just happened? Audrey says I said something that made Dave think I was conceding, and then I just conceded anyway. Okay. Well, we're moving on to game 2. Mulligan has happened. Audrey on the play. Tamiyo. Pass the turn.
Oh, that's really cool. So you just use it as a fun partner.
Tamiyo getting force pitching Daze. Okay.
Fourth card?
You were talking about this
Okay, force pitching Supreme Verdict to protect Tamiyo. Tamiyo sticks. Well, if you were wondering how good Tamiyo is in Legacy, I think you just found out. Ponder is resolving. If anybody ever asks how good is Tamiyo Inquisitive Student in Legacy, just play a clip of what just happened. I think that sums it up. Kaplan respecting it. Show respect for Tamiyo, folks.
How much?
Okay, Tamiyo makes a clue, Flooded Strand, and Ponder. For a split second, I thought that was a second Tamiyo. It looks pretty similar. I was like, my mind was like, If Audrey had played a second Tamiyo and they just continued the game as normal, would you have continued watching? Or would you have shut this channel off forever? All right, Flooded Strand gets cracked here.
We're basically playing the same deck as last time we played.
Just hanging out with a bunch of the '90s MTG regulars, some of my friends that we see at the weeklies on Friday, and we were talking about the possibility. I don't want to give people bad advice here, but the possible play that exists of Force of Will on a turn 1 Mishra's Bauble. And more discussion on that, I think, in our Discord. But a very interesting thing. Force of Will on Mishra's Bauble, turn 1. Are we supposed to force Mishra's Baubles? I don't know. Violent Outburst says never. But are you sure?
You should thaw your ice before I discard.
I will do that.
Yeah, Force of Negation might be better. Mr. Biff's making a great point. So you're on the draw. Your opponent goes turn 1 DRC. And then they play Mishra's Bauble, Surveil trigger on the stack. You Force of Will in the Mishra's Bauble. Is that the correct play?
It's funny. I was just playing Rocky.
All right, it's a Fairy Time Raveler at 5 loyalty here. Orcish Bowmaster trying to attack. Tamiyo will block 1. Teferi will lose a loyalty.
Yeah. But I mean,
I thought you said yeah. Keep going.
routinely go to timer without.
All right, passing the turn. Satel says you exile Guide, Manamorphose, and then daze it. That's possible.
They should.
Yeah,
Or
like
last
three-
year, didn't they do?
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. So that's why.
All right, Sink It to Stupor gets played face down as Soporific Springs a land, and paying 3 life to make it enter untapped is Audrey.
The 2, I see the 2 is what I'm saying. So I'm not, yeah, let's go to game 2.
So that was good.
Essentially, like, this is the position where, like, I mean, we were there a couple turns ago, but it was like, look for the intrigue, I pondered, I came into it.
Undercity Sewer, Surveil.
This goes down, literally, that looking for this.
Yeah, earlier I was just trying to scramble you with the wasteland. It was really shocking.
I'll respond.
Okay, so attacking Teferi and a 4th Earlingus. X is 2. Gonna block both with Human Knights.
Why would I,
Lord of the Rings, everybody. So Audrey has the Lord of the Rings advantage at this point. Psychic Frog comes in. Yeah, Commandeer on turn 1 Bauble makes a lot of sense, I think. Wasteland takes out Sink Into Stupor, Soporific Springs into the trash. Well, I said it backwards, but whatever. You get the idea. So Psychic Frog on the battlefield now, but it gets bounced by Teferi. Tamiyo could flip this turn, making Clue. Nobody will become the Monarch. This is a constantly confused thing in the comment section, I would say. You have to attack with the 4th Earlingus tokens, or any creature, on the turn that 4th Earlingus is played in order to become the Monarch. So nobody is the Monarch. Brainstorm, and Tamiyo flips.
yeah.
You know, are we playing enough Commandeer? It's a great question, and maybe somebody should make a spreadsheet about that specific thing. All right, so Tamiyo has 4 loyalty. It's use its +2 ability.
like last round.
You see frog, you have 5 cards.
Because Derek just put an initiative creature into place, and the initiative was introduced. And it's like, okay, we can play this out for, you know, the handful of turns more that we can. But the conclusion is inevitable.
Okay, Psychic Frog is back. Tameo now. I believe that's Tameo. Okay, a swords on the frog and the game ends.
I mean, I would still have 2 triggers. I didn't.
This looks much better.
The warding states this ability only triggers twice each turn, so yeah, I would target it. Good. Oh yeah, then I would be able to target these other things still. Yeah.
Fetch. Yep.
All right, Kaplan will fetch on end step. And
Sure.
Surveil. Undercity Sewers. Looks like Audrey's holding a Pyroblast, at least 1, maybe 2. Pyroblast, a reliable answer to the frog these days. And Nadu. Okay, here's a brainstorm for Kaplan. That resolves.
Luster, so that's 3. We're going to go to all my cookies are all.
No, because this is happening during the
Okay, after the brainstorm fetching here.
yeah.
Yeah, Audrey pointing out in the chat that Grafdigger's Cage is in hand, but holding off on putting it on the stack for a better time. Makes sense.
Sure.
You gotta go for it.
Okay.
Fetch.
Ponder now for Kaplan is countered by Pyroblast.
I see a lot of answer thing. That's fine.
Okay, so a Daze returning Undercity Sewer, protecting Ponder. Ponder will then resolve. Audrey in the chat pointing out that Undercity Sewer getting bounced back to hand with that Daze shuts off double black for the following turn. And black at all, possibly, for the next turn. If there is no other black land available. All right, so Grafdigger's Cage has just hit the stack.
Sure.
That's going to resolve, holding up Pyroblast. I like this play.
Oh yeah, those are
You're at 19, right?
I should be at 1, 2, 3, 17.
Yeah, I should have held on to the server.
And then I'll pass it around.
no, it's just like
Yeah.
Game 1 of this match had a little bit of goof going on, but the both players are playing this matchup really well, I think.
Yep.
I'll respond.
Okay, Misty Rainforest getting cracked, and Audrey thinking about responding by cracking a Prismatic Vista.
Brainstorm.
Okay, Brainstorm has been announced, hasn't been placed on the table yet. Underground Sea. So in response to the fetch, this Brainstorm is happening, so there's no Bowmaster coming in response.
I was thinking 2 drops.
When it comes to you, have 4. My turn? It is your turn.
you force a search.
Yep.
Yeah,
no trace.
What is the no trace do?
10.
Okay, Ponder resolves.
Yeah.
Another way you can do this, I don't know if you have the
We know about the possibility of an Undercity Sewers in hand, so double black may still not be available for this turn. Audrey has, it looks like, a Swords in hand as well, which could help against a Frog. Thoughtseize, okay. Prismatic Ending, Pyroblast, Swords, and Island. What do we take here for Kaplan? I guess it depends what's in hand. Okay, goes after Prismatic Ending. Prismatic Ending is gone. Undercity Sewer Surveil. It's a lot of removal and disruption to fight through. Grafdigger's Cage on the board, so can't really reanimate anything. Holding up removal for a possible Frog or Murktide.
Sure.
Yeah. My turn? At the end of your turn.
Entomb on end step, okay.
Rotation. And I have to sacrifice one.
Archon of Cruelty into the graveyard. Another Entomb.
Showing you this force a little, pitch into
I'm not scared at all.
Okay, so my turn? That's out. So, I'll keep.
Entomb.
Okay, Entomb is an Entomb, so just trying to thin the deck a little bit here.
These are flying for
Okay, pass turn. Yep.
If it were printed today, they'd be flying baseball.
Yeah, I mean, like the worst matchup is like.
Just passing back and forth, those Pyroblast, Swords, and Grafdigger's Cage holding off just a bit. Force pitching Atraxa onto Teferi. That's going to be protected by the Pyroblast we knew about. Teferi looks like it's in.
+1 and pass.
Plussing Teferi, passing the turn. Tamio, Inquisitive Student. Blue Delta pass the turn. Swords on Tamio, no life gained.
The best frog deck, and then you beating on that frog deck, you're forcing that.
-2, I'll draw.
Okay, so Swords and Pyroblast cleared by the previous turn's plays. Teferi sticks around. Here's a Brainstorm. Audrey trying to refill a bit. Grafdigger's Cage still relevant. There's an Archon of Cruelty in the graveyard, which is scary.
No, he's on.
I'll fetch twice.
Okay, Audrey fetches twice. Nope, just once.
When did you start using it?
This is the second time I've tested it.
Brainstorm on top.
When you play it,
Okay, Mystic Sanctuary, put Brainstorm on top.
find something like this. Every time you tap it, you really need it to hit. You can't use the map.
But you always know when something's going to happen first.
Yeah, I just don't know.
There's a lot of times where you just run it blind. You're just tapping for raw cards.
Start Brainstorm. +1 Brainstorm.
I really love playing counterbalance.
Okay, after plussing Teferi, Brainstorm. We saw 4th year Lingus earlier in this match. An end step fourth year Lingus could be scary.
But I like this as
Swamp Cycling Troll of Khazad-dûm.
essentially like a beanstalk outside of range. It doesn't require you to just be a mid-range check. And then also because it's another card when you draw it, because of the trigger bonus. So, but there's it mills and then it puts it in, so it's not actually drawing. But the thing is that like
Okay, cracking the Prismatic Vista now. Finding a basic mountain.
so honestly, I would actually prefer it just a draw card.
But I don't know what the like I don't know what the metagame is.
Exactly. The other day,
Drowsy's not that
this
great.
is awesome card.
I would shake down my strike.
An end step fourth year Lingus would not give the Monarch.
Shake down whatever.
Plus,
Just better at the mid-range decks.
yeah.
Okay, there's Tamio, Inquisitive Student. This time on Audrey's side.
Did really well.
Because if you're playing Zen, the actual optimized best version of being.
There's also a chance, given the current board, that Audrey will just want to fourth year Lingus on his own turn, make a whole bunch of tokens, become the Monarch, and run away with this thing. But also keeping mana open to hard cast Force or something like that could be a reason to do it on end step and just deal lethal damage either way.
Beanstalk puts it in immediately.
Yeah, but there's concessions.
There's also the possibility that Tamio could flip here and the minus ability could do something interesting. All right, Bowmaster's going to target Teferi. Bowmaster has resolved. It made an Orc army by amassing 2 power on the board now for Kaplan. Swords on the Bowmaster.
My turn.
Bowmaster gone.
Plus,
Knowing when you're against Wasteland, Queen, don't care about card advantage, and then when you're against those other decks where you're just like, alright, I have to be control.
Gothmog's in the chat. What's up, Gothmog? Jace the Mind Sculptor. Okay. Somebody call Force of Phil. Gothmog, thank you for the resub with Prime. 29 months. Appreciate that.
So I can always have perfect mana.
Okay, it looks like Dave Kaplan has conceded. I guess he felt like he fell way behind here.